Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock for the past couple of days, you should know by now that Agent Carter has been renewed for a second season. I'm not too surprised by that. The first season got pretty good reviews and good ratings, so it was more. It was going to be more of a shock to me if it hadn't got renewed than getting renewed. Shield is going to be on for season 3, which of course I don't think anyone doubted that Shield wasn't going to be renewed for a third season. And another important little fact that came out was that Shield spinoff with Bobby and Mac. I'm sorry, Bobby and Lance. Bobby is her sort of comic book name is Mockingbird, but they don't really call her that in the TV show. That they were supposed to be doing some sort of spinoff, some sort of Shield spinoff. And now that's been canceled. That's been sort of axed. So I don't know if they were going to try to replace that spinoff show with, put that in Agent Carter's spot, because Agent Carter was kind of in limbo. A lot of people didn't really know whether or not it was going to be renewed or not. But with regards to Agent Carter, I loved the show, by the way. I thought some aspects of it were better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Of course, I don't think it was better than Daredevil. Daredevil sort of like takes the cake completely. And a lot of that has to do with Netflix and the fact that they can just do more on Netflix than network television is ever going to allow to be shown for Agent Carter or the S.H.I.E.L.D. show. But I'd like to see more focus. When it comes to Agent Carter, I like to see more focus on the formation of S.H.I.E.L.D. itself. And that's kind of something that I think is kind of lost in translation a little bit with season 1. I think season 1 was a little bit too focused on establishing. I mean, it was only 8 episodes, so there wasn't a whole lot that they could do. They weren't working with 22 episodes, and I don't think it should be that long anyway, because when it gets to 22 episodes, then you get to, filling the season with, unnecessary stuff, really. And that's kind of been the slow point for S.H.I.E.L.D. S.H.I.E.L.D. has had some pacing problems. They've gotten better since Agent Carter's come out. They sort of the second half of season 2 has been a lot better than the first half of season 2, and even parts of season 1. But the sort of the length of S.H.I.E.L.D. has kind of worked against it sometimes. And when you look at Agent Carter, you think, okay, well, is Agent Carter too short? Maybe it should be 10 episodes instead of just 8. But yeah, like, so much of Agent Carter was focused on building up her character and establishing her character sort of post Captain America 1. That I don't think enough attention was put into actually forming S.H.I.E.L.D., which you would have to think is the point of the show at the end of the day. And I'd also like to see more from the Howling Commandos. They kind of had one episode where they went to another country and, it was they tried to save some people, and that's how they picked up the hypno doctor. It was that whole crazy thing. Anybody who's watched the show knows what I'm talking about. But I would like to see the Howling Commandos a little bit more. Simply because if you don't show them now, when are you going to show them? I mean, they really only existed during this time period, unless you do this whole thing where you try to bring them back to life and place them in a more modern context, sort of like what they did with Captain America. But I think that the MCU has gotten so full right now, I just don't see where they'd be able to fit the Howling Commandos in the films. So the only other place you can put them is in Agent Carter. So I'd like to see them featured a little bit more. And then, outside of just the formation of S.H.I.E.L.D. itself, they need sort of like another story. Now, the season 2 synopsis for Agent Carter has come out, and I'm just going to read it right quick. Dedicated to the fight against new atomic age threats in the wake of World War II, Peggy must now journey from New York City to Los Angeles for her most dangerous assignment yet. But even as she discovers new friends, a new home, and perhaps even a new love, she's about to find out that the bright lights of the post-war Hollywood mask a more sinister threat to everyone she is sworn to protect. So the biggest takeaway from this synopsis is that season 2 is going to take place in LA instead of New York City. And, there's going to be some sort of new love interest. I mean, she can't stay stuck on Captain America forever. I mean, we know he's not coming back until the modern era. So, they have to introduce somebody else to sort of take her mind away from Cap. And I think at the end of season 1, when they showed her dumping his blood into, and what was it, the Hudson River? I don't know. It was some river she was dumping his blood into. That kind of was a sign that, she wants some closure from that whole event, and she's trying to get past him. And I think season 2 is gonna be a lot about that. But with regards to potential enemies, we don't know. It's too early to tell. We did see Arnim Zola at the end of season 1. I'm almost certain he's gonna have something to do with it. And if they're showing the formation of S.H.I.E.L.D., we know from Cap 2, the Winter Soldier, that he was there when S.H.I.E.L.D. was founded. He kind of kept Hydra afloat underneath their noses. So it'll be really interesting to see where they go with that. I think they could really play around with the Winter Soldier story arc a little bit. Even though looking at the way they've handled their sort of more popular, well-known characters from the comics, they haven't really put them too much into the TV shows. And so the Winter Soldier is one of those characters where I don't really see them putting him in a TV show. I just don't see it happening. I would like to see it happen, but I don't think they're going to do it. They kind of hold back the TV shows in that regard. So outside of that, I'd like to see them do something with the Inhumans. We know that Whitehall, who is featured in, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we know that he found one of those, Inhuman crystals, one of those obelisks, which is what they call them. One of the Terrigen crystals, I think, is the proper name for it. He found one back during this time period, so maybe they can play around with that and show sort of the first interaction with the Inhumans. So it's possible that elements within S.H.I.E.L.D. knew about the Inhumans a long time ago, and that would connect Agent S.H.I.E.L.D. to what's going on in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And speaking of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm gonna go on to that right now. We know from the finale's coming on in about an hour of my time. That's when I'm sort of recording this now. It's about an hour away. We know that the finale is going to focus on this war between S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Inhumans. I like to see them expand on that in season 3. And I think season 3 of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to focus a lot on building up to Civil War. That's just sort of the logical evolution of the show. And then too, S.H.I.E.L.D. is really going to be the only platform they're going to have to sort of add context to what's going on with Civil War anyway. So I think S.H.I.E.L.D. season 3 is definitely going to focus a lot on that. It's going to focus a lot on that Registration Act. So I think the Inhuman S.H.I.E.L.D. war should be a central focus of season 3. At least I hope it is. And like I said earlier in the video, they've replaced that S.H.I.E.L.D. spinoff. No, they haven't replaced it yet. They just canceled it. And so I don't know if they're replacing it with season 2 of Agent Carter, so there's not going to be anything else, or are they really doing 2 new shows? Because we know that they're doing 1 new show with the writer of American Crime, John Ridley. He's supposed to be working on this secret ABC Marvel show, and what nobody really knows what that's about, or if it's connected to anything that they're doing now. Some people think that it's a completely new character. So originally they had that new show, and they had the new show with Mockingbird and Lance. But now that Mockingbird Lance S.H.I.E.L.D. show has been axed, and it's just this show that nobody really knows anything about that John Ridley's behind. So are they just going to keep it like that, or are they really going to try to have a second new show? If they do, I'd like to see them, instead of a S.H.I.E.L.D. show, I'd like to see them do an Inhuman spinoff, which would be awesome if they're showing like this war between the Inhumans and S.H.I.E.L.D. So when during the S.H.I.E.L.D. run during S.H.I.E.L.D. season 3, they can be showing the war from the point of view of S.H.I.E.L.D. Then you can do the Inhumans show, and you can show the war from the point of view of the Inhumans, and all of that just leads to Civil War. I doubt they're going to do it like that, but that would be, I think, a good way of doing it if I was on the creative team, which of course I'm not. But to make a long story short, I'm going to wrap this video up. It's going on a little bit longer than I expected it to. 2016 is going to be a big year for Marvel. We're going to be having Agent Carter Season 2, S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Luke Cage on Netflix, Iron Fist on Netflix, Civil War, Captain America 3 Civil War, and Doctor Strange. So it's going to be a huge year, and we still have Ant-Man this year and Jessica Jones. So like there's a lot of comic book material coming out, and this stuff is just ratcheting up. Like, it's not slowing down, and nor do I want it to slow down. As long as the material stays good, I don't have a problem with it. So that's basically the end of this video. Agent Carter's coming back. S.H.I.E.L.D. is coming back. The S.H.I.E.L.D. spinoff has been axed, for now at least. And stay tuned for more information about that John Ridley, ABC, Disney / Marvel team up. I'm really interested to see you guys' opinions or read you guys' opinions about what you think that show is going to be about, or what you want it to be about, I should say. So leave a comment. Stay tuned for the next video.